They say money brings comfort. But for Margaret Lawson, money only brought silence. Cold, empty silence in a mansion big enough to swallow her grief whole. Her husband, the love of her life, had been gone 3 years. Her only son, Ethan, rarely visited. He always had business, meetings, important deals, but never time for her. Margaret was 65, elegant, wealthy, and devastatingly lonely. The servants came and left. The nights were long, and the halls whispered with her memories more loudly than any living voice. Her life had become a museum of sorrow. Portraits on the wall, a wedding ring on her finger, and a heart starving for companionship. One evening, after dinner alone, again, she sat in the glow of soft candlelight, scrolling through Facebook. A new friend request appeared. Colonel Alexander Grant, U.S. Army surgeon, widower. Handsome, mature, strong jaw, kind eyes. A man who looked like he'd carried a battlefield on his shoulders. And his first message? You remind me of peace. May I know your name, Angel? Margaret's heart fluttered like it hadn't in years. She smiled, a small, hopeful smile she thought she'd forgotten how to make. They talked. And talked. Day after day. Night after night. He sent photos, in uniform, in medical scrubs, holding charitable awards. He shared stories of loss, life, and honor. He told her she was the most remarkable woman he'd ever met. And slowly, Margaret started living again. She woke excited. She wore perfume. She prepared meals for two, pretending he was there. For the first time since her husband died, she felt alive. But in the shadows, someone else was watching, listening, waiting. Her son, Ethan. And every loving message she received was part of a script he had written. Alexander Grant wasn't real. He wasn't a colonel. He wasn't a widower. He was Ethan, hiding behind a VPN and a stolen soldier's identity. Why? Because Margaret's fortune, her property, her investments, her gold, stood between Ethan and the life he felt the world owed him. He wanted it all. And the easiest way to take it? Break his mother's heart so deeply she would never see him as the villain. 3 months into the relationship, Alexander finally confessed a problem. His military pension was frozen. His bank account flagged. He needed $20,000 to secure travel documents and come home to her forever. Margaret hesitated. But love, especially lonely love, is blind. And she wired the money. She even told Ethan about her miracle man. Ethan smiled, pretended to be happy, pretended to protect her. But inside, he was already calculating the next payment. Because once a lonely heart opens, draining it becomes easy. 2 weeks later, her housekeeper, Lydia, noticed something odd. Margaret humming, cooking, laughing at her phone like a teenage girl in love. Madam, you seem happy, she said gently. Oh, Lydia. I think I've found someone, Margaret whispered, glowing. But when Lydia glanced at the screen, she froze. That face. That man. She had seen him before. A scammer alert video. Same photos. Same rank. Same tragic story. Madam, please be careful. Margaret laughed it off. When the heart is hungry, warnings sound like jealousy. But Lydia wasn't wrong. That night, Margaret received a message. There are men monitoring us. They know about our transfer. If you tell anyone else about us, they will hurt you. She stared at her screen, trembling. Alexander apologized, saying it was military security protocols. But the fear lodged into her bones. And fear makes obedience easy. Soon, $20,000 became $50,000. Then $100,000. Then $300,000. Margaret sold stock quietly. Liquidated jewelry discreetly. Signed urgent loan authorization forms. All for love. All for a ghost. Ethan watched the money move from her accounts into crypto wallets he controlled. Every transfer pulled her deeper. Every lie tightened the rope around her life. One evening, Margaret whispered, I want to hear your voice. Just once. Please. Ethan froze. He quickly downloaded a voice-changing app. Angel, he whispered through the disguise. I love you more than the world itself. Soon we will be together, and nothing will ever hurt you again. She cried. He smirked. But something else changed that night. Because when someone falls deeply enough, they stop noticing the edge of the abyss. And Margaret was already halfway down. Strange things began happening. Footsteps at midnight. Whispers down the hallway. Her late husband's study door creaking open by itself. Portraits shifting ever so slightly. And when she prayed before bed, she swore she heard a voice answer. Not God. Not her husband. A chilling whisper. Trust him. Margaret slept with the lights on. Her dreams filled with shadows wearing the face of a soldier. Fear. Love. Loneliness. Dependence. Her mind was breaking without her noticing. Exactly as Ethan planned. Because before you take everything from someone, you first make them doubt their reality. Late one night, Margaret heard a knock. 3 sharp taps. Measured. Cold. She opened the door, shaking. A small envelope lay on the step. No one around. Fog rolling across the lawn like spilled spirits. She picked it up. Inside, a single note. He isn't real. Stop sending money. If you don't, you will die. Margaret gasped, clutching her chest. The world spun. She stumbled, fell to her knees. Her vision blurred. Her breath vanished. And through the ringing in her ears, she heard a soft laugh. From upstairs. Her son's room. His door slightly open. A blue glow from a screen. Her heart stopped. Not from fear, but from a dawning horror. Someone in her own house wanted her gone. Fade to black. Heartbeat thunders. Trust no one. Not even blood. If you're still watching, if your heart is racing like ours, smash the like button, comment, never trust blindly, and subscribe. The next morning, Ethan strolled into the kitchen as if nothing in the world was wrong. Morning, Mom, he said casually, opening the fridge. His tone was soft, but beneath it, Margaret sensed something unfamiliar. A coldness that chilled her blood. You look tired, he continued, turning toward her, eyes narrowing in concern. Or was it inspection? Did you sleep okay? Margaret studied him. This boy, the child she had carried, fed, raised, loved, felt like a stranger wearing her son's skin. Aya had a scare, she whispered. A scare. His voice sharpened, too quickly. What kind of scare? She swallowed hard. Should she tell him? Trust him? Or protect herself from him? Just a bad dream, she murmured. His shoulders relaxed. A smirk flickered so briefly across his lips she almost doubted she saw it. Almost. Be careful, Mom, he said, patting her shoulder. In this world, you really can't trust anyone. The words slithered into her ears like poison, and something inside her snapped awake. For the first time since this nightmare began, Margaret wasn't just scared. She was watching. Her phone buzzed. Alexander, Angel, I sensed something happened. Tell me you're safe. Her heart raced. How could he sense anything? Was someone spying on her? She typed with shaking fingers. I feel like someone's watching me. Seconds later. Alexander, they are. The world is dangerous. Trust only me. Send me your full financial access so I can protect you. I need to secure your assets immediately. Margaret froze. Financial access? Her husband's voice echoed in her mind from years past. Never hand power to someone you don't truly know. But love, especially engineered love, was a powerful noose. Before she could respond, another message arrived. Alexander, don't involve Ethan. He cannot be trusted. Her pulse stopped. Why mention Ethan? Why now? Unless... No. Surely not. Her hand shook as she typed. Why would you say that? Alexander, he may be part of a syndicate. Trust me. I'm the only one protecting you. The phone slipped from her fingers and hit the floor. Because in that moment, she didn't feel protected. She felt owned. Lydia returned that afternoon, carrying groceries. The moment she saw Margaret's pale face, she dropped the bags. Madam, what's wrong? Margaret whispered the truth, about the romance, the money transfers, the threats. Lydia's face drained of color. I warned you, she said desperately. These scams are not harmless, madam. People disappear. People. She stopped mid-sentence. Her eyes went wide, staring past Margaret's shoulder. Margaret turned. Ethan stood in the doorway. Expression unreadable. Hands clasped behind his back. Scams. He repeated softly. Mother, what scams? Lydia stepped back, fear flickering across her face. I should go check the pantry, she whispered, escaping. Ethan approached slowly, his presence suddenly huge in the room. You would tell the staff about your private life before telling your own son, he asked. There was no anger, no sadness, just quiet menace. Margaret forced a weak smile. Oh darling, it was nothing, just silly talk. He stared at her for a long moment before leaning forward and kissing the top of her head. Be careful who you trust, Mom, he murmured again. And walked away. Margaret's knees nearly buckled. Because that kiss didn't feel like affection. It felt like a threat. That night, the house changed. The hallways breathed cold. A chandelier trembled without wind. The portrait of her late husband seemed to stare, concerned, helpless. At 2:13 a.m., she heard footsteps. Heavy, slow, approaching her room. Her heart hammered as she peered through the door crack. A shadow moved past, tall, broad-shouldered. Ethan? Or someone else? Suddenly her phone buzzed. Alexander, are you alone? I sense danger. She dropped the phone, gasping. How did he always know? Was he planted in her life? Or worse, inside her house? She locked her bedroom door and pushed her dresser in front of it. Then she sat on the floor, knees to chest, trembling. Hours passed. Silence returned. But once you hear fear, you never stop hearing it. The next afternoon, Margaret prepared tea in the kitchen. Hands trembling. Eyes bagged. Her soul heavy. The kettle whistled. Steam curled like ghostly fingers. She reached for the sugar jar, paused. It was slightly open. She never left it open. A strange bitter smell drifted from inside. Her heart stopped. She lifted the lid with a spoon and saw the faint white residue, not sugar, but a fine powder. Poison. She almost dropped the jar. Her hands shook violently. Her vision blurred. Tears burned her eyes. Someone in her home was trying to kill her. Slowly, quietly, to make it look natural. She backed away from the counter, breath shaking. Just then, footsteps behind her. Ethan's voice. Mom? Why are you trembling? You look scared. Margaret turned slowly. Her son stood there, hands in pockets, expression blank. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. He stepped closer. Are you feeling unwell? He asked, voice dripping with false concern. You really should be careful at your age. Her heartbeat roared. Her vision spun. This wasn't her son. Not anymore. This was a predator. Margaret escaped to her bedroom and locked the door. She cried silently, clutching her wedding ring like a lifeline. John, please, give me strength. Her phone lit. Alexander, you're in danger. Wire the rest of your funds. I will protect you. Funds. Always funds. Every message. Money, fear, control. She stared at the screen and whispered. I think you want me dead too. Silence. Then. Alexander, if you doubt me again, I will disappear forever. Choose. Love or loneliness. Her blood ran cold. Fear turned to clarity. And clarity turned to rage. She threw the phone across the room, breathing hard, like someone gasping back their sanity. By morning, Margaret was changed. No more trembling. No more denial. No more blind love. She walked slowly to Ethan's room. The door was open. Inside, multiple monitors. Crypto accounts. Fake identities. Military photos. VPN dashboards. Her heart broke and hardened at once. Her own son had created the man she loved. Her own son had stolen her money, her peace, her sanity. Her own son was trying to erase her from the world. She stepped backward as Ethan turned in his chair. Their eyes locked. He smiled slowly, beautiful and monstrous. Oh, he whispered, voice soft as silk. So, you finally figured it out. Margaret forced herself forward. Alexander isn't real. she said. You invented him. Of course I did, Ethan replied proudly. You think a real man could ever love someone like you? The words hit her like knife wounds. But she did not cry. Not anymore. Do you even care about me at all? She whispered. Ethan leaned in close, voice icy. You were useful. Nothing more. A tear slid down her cheek, but not from weakness. It was a funeral tear. The burial of the son she once knew. Give me your accounts, mother, he said. All of them. This can still be peaceful. Her voice sharpened. You tried to poison me. He paused, then smiled. You're smarter than you look. Why? She demanded, desperation breaking through. Why kill me? You already took so much. His face hardened. Because as long as you breathe, the money legally belongs to you. Her stomach dropped. So it was always about money. Not love. Not anger. Profit. Cold. Clinical. Murder for inheritance. He reached into his pocket. Metal glinted. A syringe. The room spun. Her breath shattered. Her heart kicked against her ribs. No, she whispered. Yes, he said. It will look like a stroke. Peaceful. Tragic. Convenient. He stepped toward her. And for a heartbeat, she saw death in his eyes. Fear exploded inside her. Pure unstoppable survival. She shoved the desk chair at him and ran. He cursed and stumbled. Margaret sprinted down the hallway, breath ragged, vision blurring with tears she refused to allow to fall. Mother! Ethan roared behind her. Don't make this messy. She grabbed her phone, but it was dead. No calls. No lifeline. No help. Except one. Lydia, she gasped. She needed to find the housekeeper. She needed someone, anyone, to witness. But the house felt alive, walls closing in, shadows crawling, stairs stretching like they led to nowhere. This was no longer a mansion. It was a mausoleum waiting for its final guest. Her feet carried her to the study, her late husband's sanctuary. She slammed the door shut, locking it. Then she collapsed against it, sobbing silently as Ethan pounded on the wood. Open the door, he hissed. You're making this ugly. Margaret looked at the portrait of her husband. John. I'm so sorry. I failed him. I failed our son. Silence answered. A silence filled with grief. Then, a voice inside her whispered, No, get up. Not her husband's voice. Her own. This woman, once fragile, lost, lonely, was gone. What remained was something forged by betrayal. A mother who had nothing left to fear. She stood, spine straight, unlocked the drawer, pulled out her husband's old revolver, a relic, but loaded. She checked the cylinder. 6 bullets. Her fingers shook, but her resolve did not. Ethan finally forced the lock. The door creaked open. He stepped in, smiling like a viper. I'm sorry you made me. Click. She aimed the gun at him. Ethan froze. For the first time, fear flickered in his eyes. Mom, he whispered cautiously. Put that down. You stole my money, she said, voice steady. You broke my heart. You tried to kill me. But you forgot something. What? He asked quietly. I am not done living. Her hand did not tremble now. Her voice did not break. I loved you, she whispered. But I will not die for you. Ethan lunged. The gun fired. A scream tore through the house. Not his. Hers. Because she hit his arm, not his chest. He roared in pain, dropping the syringe. Margaret turned and ran again. But this time, she had a weapon and fire in her veins. Ethan staggered after her, bleeding, furious. You stupid old woman, he screamed. You ruined everything. They reached the grand staircase, the same staircase she once decorated with flowers and laughter. Now it held only echoes of betrayal. I never ruined anything, she panted. You ruined yourself. He lunged again, desperate, wild. She fired again. This time, the bullet hit his leg. He collapsed, screaming. She stood over him, breathing hard, arms shaking from recoil and adrenaline. Ethan stared up at her, hatred burning through pain. Call an ambulance, he gasped. You can't let me die. I'm your son. Her eyes filled, not with love, but sorrow. You stopped being my son when you tried to kill me. She dialed, not an ambulance. The police. Hours later, blue and red lights swirled through the mansion. Officers flooded the halls. Cryptologs, fake identities, stolen money, all exposed. Ethan was handcuffed, limping, pale from blood loss. "Mom," he whispered, eyes suddenly soft. Too late, too false. "Please. I'm your child." Margaret stared at him with indescribable grief. "You were," she whispered. "But you chose greed over love." He looked away, jaw clenched. And she turned from him forever. Weeks passed. The house grew quiet again, but not empty. Lydia stayed by her side. Police protected her. Lawyers worked to recover her assets. Margaret walked through her garden one morning, sunlight warming her face. She wasn't the same woman. Loss had carved her. Pain had shaped her. But she survived. She breathed. She lived. And she vowed never again to mistake loneliness for love. Her voice, calm, steady, closed the chapter. Some enemies are strangers, but the most dangerous ones share your blood. If this story shook you, if it made your heart race, if it reminded you that not everyone who calls you family truly loves you, hit like right now. Comment, trust is earned, not given. Subscribe for more powerful, emotional, and chilling stories. And remember, love with your heart, but protect yourself with your mind. ****